Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching the one, the only Geekcaster. I'm Michael, and today we got Davion Busty and Corey Davis.
Hello.
Yes.
How you guys doing?
The legendary Davion Busty. Good.
Good. So there's a lot going on right now. There's always a lot going on, but there's a lot going on. So today we're going to talk about, the Umbrella Academy 2.
Season 2.
We're going to talk about Justice League. We're going to talk about a little bit of Watermelon Man. And we're going to talk about the Snyder Cut. And some other things, but that's what we're going to hit today. So let's start with the Umbrella Academy. Because the Umbrella Academy makes me smile. No one saw that coming season 1, right? No one saw that coming.
Yeah.
Did you guys know it was going to be as good as it was?
I'm going to say yes.
Okay.
I think of it as...
What did you say, Corey?
Go ahead.
I was going to say I was a little underwhelmed for the first half of the first season, but then it just picks up out of nowhere and it goes to a place where I really didn't expect it to go.
Mm-hmm. Did they know how to end it, though? That's the only thing.
They ended the way the comic book ended.
Okay.
I think when it first got established, so...
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's like fine wine. It's just like what they did with Guardians of the Galaxy. They put a little twist to it,
mm-hmm.
and they just basically let it sit and marinate, and there you have it.
And
right there.
And there
That's all
you
you
have
have to
it.
say.
I could see that. I mean, the acting was good. The effects were amazing. But I did feel... Again, I didn't read the comic, but I did feel that they were a little unsure. That's what it felt like.
Exactly what it felt like.
Okay, so you got that too.
Wasn't everybody unsure about Guardians of the Galaxy? And you saw how big success that was.
Well, not in the sense of that, but I'm just saying, watching the whole series, that's how I felt. But it was a pleasant surprise to see these characters. I think they're going to be, especially... going into season 2, people have already fallen in love with specific characters, so I'm curious to see where they're going to go with it. My Chemical Romance, the lead singer, created the series.
Correct.
So that was interesting. So I guess they had some fans baked in. Do you think season 2 will be good as season 1?
Yeah. I have faith.
Well,
you gotta have faith.
Why do you think? I mean, do you
the way
think
things are,
mm-hmm.
we need a pick-me-up.
Well, Corey, what do you think about the character development within that series?
I think it developed slowly. It was a slow development. Mm. But, like I said, halfway through the season where it really catches the fans' attention, even if you've never read the comic book, it was just... I wanted to say it was a good overview it took half the season before it really, explored and went off. And it was good.
Okay. Well, definitely, it felt good. I'm excited. We'll see. I kind of had the same feeling. That was like, okay, where are we going with this? I liked half of the characters. I didn't like all of them, but as it went on, it kind of got me as well. But then the end, that's how I felt about the end. But we'll see. We'll definitely see. Now, I'm not really into, what's coming out? Season 5 of Lucifer. I didn't get it. That show didn't really speak to me. But Davion, you really like this show. So tell me what you're looking forward to in season 5 with that. And how come you're such a fan for that show?
Well, I think the acting in it with the main character, because he portrayed Lucifer Morningstar on to the T.
Okay.
But with a little spice to it. Also, the story base to how Lucifer pretty much start transitioning into understanding humans.
Okay.
So it just basically, it's like he's starting to understand his role in life.
Mm-hmm.
And that twist with the
Aaron said hello, Ma. He did real
sorry guys. So it's just it was a good twist how they introduced the whole situation. But for season 5, it's going to introduce somebody to play the father. Play God.
Okay.
And I'm kind of happy of the person that's playing the father. Playing God, and it's the guy from Allstate commercial.
Now, in the series Lucifer, is he supposed to be the devil's son, or is he supposed to be the devil? I never really got that from that.
He's the devil.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. We will see. Well, season 5, and both of the shows we just spoke about are Netflix shows. So Netflix is really trying to keep us entertained during COVID. So that is interesting in itself there. All right, so what else we got going on over there? Everyone's spoken about this the last couple of weeks. I wanted to let the hype go down before we jump into it. But the Snyder's cut of Justice League, are you guys looking forward to this? Could it actually be better? I mean, what's your take on it?
I'm excited. I personally never thought that it was actually going to happen because it was such hyperbole. It became like legend almost because everyone was talking about it. And now that it's here, I'm like, oh, okay. So we're here now. Let's see what it's about.
Okay. Now, for anyone out there that might not know, Snyder's Cut's supposed to be the version of Justice League that Snyder wanted to bring to everybody but couldn't. He had some personal family issues, so he had to step away from the project. And now HBO is going to back it, and he's going to get the original cast and actually film all the different scenes that he wanted in the film that never made it, and kind of tell a little bit of a different story. So, and Davion, what's your take on it?
I really think that's a smart idea because you need to salvage and save this franchise.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think what made it worse was the fact that when they had the other director take over for the Justice League,
mm-hmm.
it was no real direction. It didn't have its balance. So it just threw most of the people off with what they were doing, in a sense. And then to make a low-tier villain, low-tier, commander of on Darkseid as the main villain was like a slap in the face to comic book fans. And I had to say myself because I fell asleep during that whole film, during the ending of the film.
Wow. Can't believe you fell asleep though.
No, to be totally honest, I think it was so boring to me to the point where it was like, okay, and all I saw myself was doing is slipping away. A person right next to me had to wake me up and say, yo, wake up. I was like, why? They was like, you're missing the whole movie. I was like, yeah, it was boring. And then you had Superman that's just showing off and talking throughout the whole time. He wasn't even fighting. He was just showing off and talking.
Well, he's Superman.
Well, you also have to remember you have two different audiences that are watching the movie. People who are very into the comic and then people who aren't. For the people who weren't, they found it very enjoyable, whereas people who really followed DC like that were looking at this movie like, what? Why? No one really was into it from that perspective. So hopefully this sets the course right. I don't know if it's too late. I don't know if people are still interested, but we'll see.
kind of amazing because what if a lot of directors got an opportunity to recut things and um, streaming services and different cable networks say, "Hey, Showtime, I want to redo ET because there were things that I don't know Steven Spielberg wanted to add to it," or we saw with Star Wars how George Lucas added all the 3D animation that he wanted, that the technology just wasn't there. So he did that with different releases of a lot of the prequels of Star Wars. So this could be a thing. But is that giving us the same thing over and over again without giving us new stories? Is it kind of a weak way to get people to buy the same content over again?
It's not a weak way to buy the content all over again. It's just a sloppy way of correcting a mistake from a film.
Mm.
But then you have like the original Star Wars before George Lucas remade it, and a lot of people want to find that footage, and you can't find it anywhere. So does it really do that film justice? Because now all we have is what's out there. So I don't know how I feel about it in that sense.
Right.
It's a little disheartening, but like I said, we'll see what happens.
Right. Right. Well, the fans have been asking for it, and I think it's actually going to happen. We'll see. I mean, again, with COVID, will they be able to get all those actors back? I mean, everybody's kind of backlogged on all the commitments. I mean, look at The Rock. I mean, he's still got to finish his film. I think a lot of people started to do stuff. Ron Howard put on his Instagram back in the studio, and they were scoring for some film that he's working on. Again, I don't know if he's just doing the score for someone else or for his project, but people are back in the studio. So we'll see. See what happens with that.
Yeah, it's just that I feel as though it's a blessing and a curse with this COVID, because a lot of people are getting the opportunity to correct the mistakes that they did, or correct the mistakes with certain films. But at the same time, if the film wasn't completed all the way, it shouldn't have been out to the public.
Well, let's transition to Batman. A lot of people are talking about Michael Keaton and how he will return as the Cape Crusader. For those that do not know, in 1989, I believe it was, he played Batman. That film really kind of started a whole new, I guess, renaissance of superhero films, at least for DC. And yes, there were Superman and there were other things before, but that 1989 Batman kind of set the new marker for soundtracks. Again, Prince did the soundtrack for Batman. And actually, interesting, no one's ever done a superhero soundtrack like Prince approached it, which is interesting too.
Because Prince is the only person that can pull it off.
I could do it. Take that. No, but I'm excited because he's going to play a future Batman, which now he's old enough to actually play. And they're going to play off of the Flash. So it seems that they really are going to push the Flashpoint film. I don't know if they're going to actually call it that, but the concept is every time he messes with time, he kind of can change things. So they might go that angle, or they're going to go with the multiverse, where he goes so fast that he can go into different dimensions. And we'll see which Batman he will be. Will it be good? Will it be evil? But regardless, he will be an older, wiser Batman. So that should be super interesting.
3 words.
Say it again.
Batman.
Tell all your friends about me. And here's a picture of different Batmans, and it's. I still feel he's the best Batman. of all the.
He
all
is
the,
Batman.
Yeah, yeah, because he had the Bruce Wayne thing. See, okay, here's the thing: when people play Batman, it's not playing Batman that's the hard part. Anyone could fit the suit. It's playing Bruce Wayne, and I don't see a lot of people being a convincing Bruce Wayne. You know, like Christian Bale's Bruce Wayne
Christian
wasn't.
Bale. Christian Bale
convincing.
played a good. It was a convincing Bruce Wayne, but the Batman was like,
Well, people play him for the voice.
Batman?
Say it again.
I was just gonna say, was Christian Bale a good Batman, or did he have a great surrounding cast? Just a question.
I'm just saying he had. Even though he did 3 movies with it, people say he did such a great job only because of the second one and only because he had a great Joker. I mean, without that great Joker. In fact, this is why you had a problem with Justice League. Because they didn't have a really good villain, or at least they didn't build it up. He just kind of appeared, and then it was like, okay, we're going to have a fight scene. But what are you fighting for? You know? And it's kind of weird because the apex of the whole film really was just Batman fighting Superman. I mean, that was like really the whole film. And then they were supposed to build up to this villain that didn't happen. Or do you guys
exactly, because we saw. I really felt the anticipation of waiting for Darkseid. I'm like, okay, and then they give us a lower tier.
Darkseid?
Low. Yeah, it wasn't even a low tier Darkseid. It was just. It was like a Kick Rock version.
Kick Rocks.
The little abomination creature.
Oh man, they spent money.
Yeah, unnecessary money.
I think the one point we have to make about Batman is only as good as villain, like you were saying, with Michael Keaton and Jack Nicholson. And this is going to cause some controversy, but I think the second best would be Tommy Lee Jones and Jim Carrey as both Two-Face and the Riddler. Right after Jack Nicholson, I'll put them ahead of Heath Ledger. Only because I think
Kick him out. Kick him out.
Like I said,
I really.
Well, the Riddler,
Kick him out.
Jim Carrey is just amazing. He's just amazing. He was very committed. He's very committed to the script, and you got to give it to him. He gave what was given to him.
Exactly.
You know.
Okay, I'll give you the fact that Jim Carrey.
We can talk about the writing, but that I think that whole second place.
Well, how did you think George Clooney did?
Burn him down.
Or and everybody keeps forgetting about what's his name?
Val Kilmer.
Yeah, Val Kilmer. He actually
was way better than Val Kilmer. Way better than Ben Affleck.
Val Kilmer was he was very committed to. You have to admit, he was very committed to it. He was actually a better Bruce Wayne than he was a Batman. Because you know what I mean? Because I think what they tried to do was to go into the psychology of Bruce Wayne, which they never really do. They're so quick to want to go to the fight scenes and stuff. And as an actor, I think that Val Kilmer embraced that, but it wasn't that much of a, that kind of was the whole thing. The
writing killed it.
Right, the writing killed it. Right. Yeah. I mean, this man did the Doors. Come on, man.
But I would say, just look at George Clooney. He looks like Bruce Wayne. He just looks like a great Bruce Wayne. However, Batman has a different story, but I think he did well with what he had.
Well, George Clooney in real life is Batman. Is Bruce Wayne. Sorry. He is Bruce Wayne. He is the forever bachelor. Not right now, but for the longest time, he's been the millionaire bachelor that will never settle down. He lived that life. He just had a toy movie. They just wanted to sell toys. Unfortunately, when he got into the got into the act, unfortunately. All right, so you're watching Geekcaster, and we're going to have a Foodcaster segment within Geekcaster to celebrate having a relationship with food within our sci-fi fantasy madness. And today we're going to talk about gaming, transition to Davion's update on gaming, but we're going to talk about how important it is to drink water. Now, a lot of you out there, you're sitting there for hours playing games, but you're not drinking the water that you're supposed to drink. Please do so. Keep hydrated and stay healthy. All right. So, Davion, what's going on with gaming? Because you said there's a whole new PlayStation. Is it out yet?
Okay. No, it's not out yet. It's out, I think, in the winter or fall. Maybe, most likely next year. They haven't really made an announcement fully about the system. But some of the games that was announced was Resident Evil Village. 8.
Keep going. No odd pauses. Keep going.
Well, with Resident Evil 8, The Village, it basically is pretty much a sequel to 7, and you're still playing Ethan Winters.
You're so silly.
And this time, Chris Redfield is pretty much maybe a villain this time. And this time, this was supernatural. Besides the regular zombie whole thing with the zombies, they dealing with werewolves and witches this time in a village.
Okay. Are you guys picking that up? The new PlayStation, is it worth it in your opinion?
I would have to wait until. I'll never buy the system when it first comes out. I always wait until all the kinks are gone or whatever issues they have. I normally wait until probably maybe a year or two.
I transitioned from PlayStation to Xbox, so I'm waiting for Xbox Series X.
Gotcha. All right, I'm gonna pump up a picture of this. This black and white beauty. It does look like a piece of modern art, and hopefully
looks like a router.
Okay.
Yeah,
I tried to make it sound nice. I tried.
No, I didn't really like the design. I really think it wasn't lazy. It's not the greatest design. We're so used to the black standard for PlayStation. Not this white side and the black inside. It's like a combination of... It's like all the systems in one. That's what it looks like. And then with the design, they was like, oh, let's make it like a router.
Right. So you're not getting it. Basically, you're not getting it. Well, I mean,
what happened? Repeat that?
So basically, you're not going to buy it.
No, I'll buy it because it's a PlayStation. I'm a PlayStation fan for life. But it's just the fact that I'm just not too crazy about the design. Now, everything else inside it is different. Like, that's something that you got to look at the gameplay, the graphics, how much memory. As a matter of fact, it's 2 versions of the system. It's a digital version and this version. I'll focus on the digital version than it is the disc version.
See, Xbox makes it simple. You don't have 2 versions. You just get one system, and you can download the games or buy the disc. And if you do buy the disc and you save the information to the game, swapping between games is about 3 seconds. Can PlayStation 5 do that? I don't know. I'll reserve my judgment until I see more.
Okay.
I am a Gran Turismo fan. If I would have to buy a PlayStation 5 for one game, it would be Gran Turismo because I really do love that game. It's a classic. It's a PlayStation staple, but nothing else really excites me at this point.
Now, this is random. We're going to do a old school segment, but I'm going to flip it because you figure, they're going to talk about Raiders of the Lost Ark or Star Wars or E.T. No, this one's going to be politically, socially charged. It's called Watermelon Man. Now, this was created by Melvin Van Peebles. He's the director, and
Why are
it's
you making a face?
classic comedy. Say it again.
Davion's making a face. It was
Oh, okay.
classic.
Well, it's
When
interesting
you mentioned Watermelon Man, it went
because
along.
so we have a very financially successful Caucasian male living in the suburbs, and he wakes up one day and he wakes up being black, and just how he deals with that, how his family deals with it. I believe it's very, very interesting. Very, very interesting, and I think if you watch it and just remember how this is old school, some of the themes, well, of all the themes, definitely play hard today. Here he is, white, and then he wakes up black and doesn't know what to do with himself. But you'll check this out. It's good commentary. It's old school, and when you think of the time where it came out, they did a good job with makeup. Did a pretty good job. So that's that, and we're gonna do that from now on. Kind of throw different things for you guys to check out. And if you haven't seen Raiders of the Lost Ark or E.T., do not talk to us until you check that out. Don't talk to anybody. Don't go to another con. Don't those are staples. You got to see those movies. Do you know what they might? There's a new network called Peacock. Did you guys hear about that? So there's a new network called Peacock. It's going to be free, and I believe E.T. is going to be on it. So and some other things, of course, comedy, news, a whole bunch of different things, but it will be free. So everyone complaining about, there's so many streaming networks and it's costing so much money. There's something in the pipeline that will be free. So look out for Peacock. Yeah, check that out. All right, guys, give everybody your social media.
Starting with Corey.
Well, you can find me on IG at IamGT3.
And you can find me at Davion Bussy on Instagram.
And you can find me on Instagram at Michael7Michael. And of course, you can find Geekcaster on Instagram. Listen, we had a great show here. This is awesome, doing this whole virtual thing. But this is what we're left with in the current state of the world. But we're going to keep giving you information. We're actually going to do another episode. If you're watching this live, check this out. If you're just catching the tail end of this, hey, we're on cable. Just go to geekcaster.com. You could find the information where you can find us. If you watch on cable, thank you for your support. You could also go to the website and share links and hit us up if you want to get involved, writing or hosting, some way involved with Geekcaster, Soulcaster, or Foodcaster. You're watching Geekcaster. And Davion, give us a word of wisdom before we go.
It's a reference. Well, it's not a word of wisdom. I was about to basically ask you about the Watermelon Man. Reminds me of the comic book with Superman and with Lois Lane changing black. Remember that comic book?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's all I was about to say.
That's classic. Yep, Lois Lane was black in the issue. Check that out. All right, you're watching Geekcaster, and we're out.